Hi all, it's Miss Brown. With technology being such an important focus in our classrooms today, it's very important that we all understand how to use the tech tools very efficiently and effectively to make sure we can create the best products possible. So over the next month, we're going to learn different tech tools each week in Pride and how to use them to the best of our ability. Today we're going to start with PowerPoint. Now I know most of you have used PowerPoint before, but we're going to take our use to the next step. We're going to learn some tricks, some shortcuts, and how to effectively use them to make the best presentations possible. I'm also going to give you some suggestions that I've learned over the years as to what not to do and some things you can do. To get started, we need to first open a blank PowerPoint. So to do this, you look on your desktop for the PowerPoint logo. If it doesn't appear here, you can search on the applications until you open one. We're going to go ahead and open up the PowerPoint window. And we're just going to open up a blank presentation. Now there are all of these different options that we have that are some already pre-made designs and color schemes and things like that. But we're just going to start basic and we're going to learn how to create that ourselves so we can make it exactly what we want it. So go ahead and open up a blank presentation. Now before you get started, you want to make sure you save your progress. That way, in case your computer dies, something happens, you got to run out real quick, you don't lose anything. So you always want to first start out by saving. So we go up here to File, Save As, and you can browse to choose where you want to save it. I'm just going to save mine to my desktop, and I'm just going to call it Presentation 1, but change it to whatever you want to name it. So I'm going to hit Save. All right, and what we have here is a title page. So for this PowerPoint presentation, we're going to make it just about you. We're going to keep it simple, a topic you know a lot about, so we're going to make a PowerPoint about me. So we're going to start out by adding a title. So my title is going to be All About Me. And this is by Miss Brown. So you can go ahead and title it. Now that's pretty plain. So let's start with working on how to make this look pretty or noticeable or something to just make it catch our eye. So let's start. We're going to highlight the All About Me title. We're going to make the font bigger. So up here we see the plus arrow. So if you click that a couple of times, it makes it bigger. And then I'm going to change my font to make it bold. And my color, so right here is color. And I'm going to make it blue. And I don't like this. Make it a little bigger so you can actually see it. And I'm going to change my font. And this font I'm going to use throughout the whole thing. It's really important to make sure you stick to just one font, because if you have too much going on, it gets a little busy and it'll lose your focus. So I'm going to stick with this Bradley hand as my writing throughout. All right, so we got our title page. Now throughout, you want to make sure you're saving your progress. So now we could go up to File, Save, and do that over and over again, but a shortcut is Control S. So if you hit on your keyboard, the control, it says CTRL button S. That's Control Save. So that's a shortcut there. If you keep doing that throughout, then you'll save your progress. You can also go up and File, Save, but Control S is a little shorter. So as you're going through this presentation, feel free to stop it so you can catch up and do it as I would be creating yours as you go through. So feel free to pause, create your page, and then go on. All right, so we got our title page. Next, we're going to go to New Slide here. And when you click New Slide, it automatically does a title with a bulleted list. So this is going to be perfect because our next page is just going to be some basic facts. So I'm going to title it Basic Facts. And I would like this basic facts to be bold. So I'm going to click the bold button, underlined, and back to that font that I'm going to use throughout, which is the Bradley hand. I'm also going to make it a little bit bigger. If you want, you can center it, which is this center button here. Centers it, and it makes it in the middle. All right, so instead of, actually, we're going to leave it here. So our first 5 facts we're going to include are our birthday. My birthday is September 3rd. You're going to include your hometown. So for me, that's Towson, Maryland. You're going to include if you have any siblings. I have one older sister. And then one more fact about yourself. So I'm going to say that I love Baltimore sports. All right, now this is still pretty plain. So I'm going to highlight it all. And I'm going to change it to my Bradley handwriting, which is my font. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. Now I don't like these bullet points. So I'm going to change them, keeping it highlighted. And if you see where it has the bullet list, so if I click it once, that unbullets it. If I click it again, it bullets it. And then if we click the arrow, you can see all of the different drop-down menus of the different kinds of bullets. I like this little arrow one. Okay, so you can still keep making it bigger if you want. I can make my title bigger, things like that. All right, so there's a bulleted list. Again, Control S to make sure we're saving our progress throughout. So our next slide, we're going to include, I don't want to use any of this, so I'm going to click on the box and I'm going to hit delete. That makes it go away, and hit delete. So this time, we're going to insert a text box. So I went to insert at the top, text box, and then it comes up with this little symbol, so I'm going to drag it and it's going to create that. On this slide, we're going to make our likes and dislikes. So I'm going to start out with a likes title. Now again, it's pretty small, so I'm going to make it bigger, center it, and make it my Bradley handwriting font. So I'm going to bold it, make it a little bigger. All right, so there's one column. Now I want to make this exact same thing, only dislikes. So instead of going through and creating a new text box, reformatting it, all that stuff, I'm going to select the box, hit that Control button again, Control C. So that's copy. You could also go to your right click, and if you right click and then hit copy, you can do it that way. So Control C copies, Control V pastes. So Control C to copy, Control V to paste. And now this one I'm going to change it to say dislikes. All right, so there's our headers. Now let's make our lists. So I'm going to go back to insert, text box. I'm going to draw my box. And this time I want it to be numbered. So we go back to where our bullet and our number options are, but this time I'm going to make it numbered. So I'm going to number 5 things I like. So 5 things that I like: pizza, beach, warm weather, what else? Baseball, and dogs. Now again, I want my format to be nice and the same. So I'm going to change it to my font, make it bigger so it's visible. And I don't like how close it is to my title, so I'm going to select the text box and move it down. All right, now like we did with our headers, instead of recreating that whole thing, select the text box, Control C to copy, Control V to paste. And I'm going to change it to things I don't like. And cats. All right, so now I got some things I like and some things I don't. Now to make this slide a little more interesting, we're going to add some pictures from you can either Google search them and copy and paste, or you can use the images that are provided. So I'm going to use the images that are provided. So I'm going to go up here to insert. And then if we see pictures, that's from the files that you have on your computer. And online pictures are the clip art, so the pictures that Microsoft has provided to you. So we're going to click online pictures, and it will download the pictures that they have. And I want to look for a picture of pizza. Search. So this Creative Commons means that you have license to do it, so you're not going to copyright, you can't get in trouble for that. So I'm going to include this picture right here of pizza. So I'm going to click on the picture and then hit insert. And my picture appears. Now it's huge and covering everything. So I'm going to drag the corner arrow here. If you hold shift while you do that, it won't make the picture get a weird size. It'll keep the size true. So I'm just going to make the picture smaller and put it underneath of the things I like. And then I'm going to do this again with something I don't like. So I'm going to go back up to insert, to online pictures. And this time I'm going to look up basketball. I just don't like the squeaky shoes. All right, and here's basketball. I select my picture, hit insert, and I'm going to make it smaller. Again, holding shift while I make it smaller. I'm going to put it there. All right, so now we have our likes or dislikes, and we've included clip art, and we have a numbered list instead of a bulleted list. We've done copy and paste. One more thing that we're going to do is talk about how to change backgrounds and how to add word art. So we're going to add one more slide. And again, I'm going to delete the things that came with it. So I'm going to select the box, hit delete, select the box, hit delete. This time I'm going to go to Insert, and I'm going to select this word art here. So when you click that, it drops down with all of these different options, and I'm just going to use a black with a white border and a highlight, and I'm going to say, and that's me. So that's there. I can make my font again, select the box, or you can select the whole thing. Ooh, select the whole thing, make the font bigger. Now it's all weird like that. I don't like it. So I make it wider. If I make my box wider, it'll be back to one line. I'm going to put it up here. And see that dotted line that appears? That's showing me that it's centered. It's just a little fun fact. All right, and then I also want to change my background. So to right click, you will click with 2 fingers on the mouse pad. So if you right click with 2 fingers, it'll come up with this little menu. So again, that was 2 fingers, or you can right click if you have a mouse. And I see Format Background. So when I click Format Background, this little menu over here on the side comes up. I'm going to do a solid fill. Now I'm going to pick a color. I'm going to make it a green color, but I don't like how dark it is. So this transparency bar right here, if I slide that down, it makes it lighter. It just makes it so it's see-through. So now we've done word art and our background color. Now one thing that I want to show you is when I go to this next slide, all of these animations, while they might be fun, there's 2 things wrong with them. One is they're time consuming, and 2, they're very distracting. So I'm not going to go into how to do those, but that is an option. You can add animations and add transitions. Animations is so that when you click your mouse, it makes whatever object appear, and transitions was exactly how it transitioned from the previous slide. That's the crinkly thing that it did. Now it's very distracting to do too many of those. So if you do choose to do those, that is an option, but just keep it to a minimum because it does get very distracting. So some things you should have learned from this. You should have learned how to change your font, your size, and the color of font, how to change the size of a text box in case it gets cropped out, copying and pasting, how to insert pictures from clip art, how to make bulleted lists and numbered lists, how to delete things. So I hope that that helped you get some basics on how to do PowerPoint, and I hope you learned some new things. If you could, please go ahead and fill out the survey that your teacher will be sending out to you so I can make sure we all learned something, and then also save your PowerPoint and send that to your teacher as an assignment so that we can all see the progress that you guys make. Thank you so much for taking the time to do this, and have a great rest of your day.